Honestly, Black Americans, it is time for us to learn how to keep our dollar to our pocket, because a lot of this country that you go around to support, that you go around to give money to, that you go around to spend your dollar, do not really value you, okay? And now, why am I saying this? Let it make sense to me that a matured Black American man took his bag, took his camera, prepare himself with his hard-earned money. He did not borrow it from anybody. This is his hard-earned currency, and decided to go to explore other countries, other states, whatever you understand it as. And it is now sad that on getting there, for the fact that this man was literally a Black man, it is now becoming a whole issue that the racism inside of these people was clearly playing out, and of which a lot of us knew that if these people were literally to see, if reverse was the case, and these people literally have to see a white person, these people would literally have not reacted the way they react. I'm going to go ahead and first of all play the reaction clip for you guys of how they reacted to this Black man, how they showed their demonic racism on this Black man, and then go ahead to roll out the clips of other people's opinion. Credit belongs to the original creator of every single clips and stitches I have in today's episode. If you haven't subscribed, what are you waiting for? Do it, subscribe, like this video, drop me your comments, and lastly, do not forget to share for every other person to get this good news. I want to say very big thank you to every single one of you liking, commenting, sharing, supporting the channel. I do not take you guys for granted. You guys are absolutely the best. And yes, with that being said, let's dive right into this video, and I'll be back with commentaries. Let's go watch, guys.
Hey, what's up? Sorry?
Anthony D'Olivero, the host of the Jumps travel documentary channel on YouTube, was a vlogging in Georgetown on his recent trip to Guyana. This was a lowlight in a week of bad publicity for tourism in Guyana, sparking discussions about tourism, hospitality, Guyanese culture, and filming in public. These are generally perceived to be warm and hospitable towards tourists. However, in my 10+ years of experience, I've noticed that filming in public exposes a glaring double standard. While Guyanese are generally averse to being on camera, unless they have something to complain about, they tend to be a lot less hostile if the person holding the camera is white. Of course, there have been other Black influencers and vloggers who've had different experiences, like Wodamaya, who exists in a completely different niche and is way more popular than Anthony is. From what I've seen of his channel on YouTube, Anthony is typically a jovial, warm person, and his interactions tend to be polite and respectful. You don't have to take my word for it, you can go check out his channel. I'm also not entertaining any arguments about him filming in a rough part, because it's the market and we've seen vloggers film in way rougher places than that. In fact, we've seen vloggers film in the same spaces with very different results. And for those talking about filming in public, in Guyana, if you're in public, it's more likely that you're on camera than you are off camera. Think about it. The government has cameras all over the place, especially in high traffic areas like the markets. Then there's businesses and private buildings with CCTV cameras covering their perimeter and entrances. What about the thousands of cars with dash cams, ring cameras, meta glasses, and then of course any and everyone with a smartphone? Looking at the video, you can see that this was very clearly just a passing interaction, not one where Anthony set up his camera, pointed it at these guys, and was clearly looking to start something. He was walking, going about his way on the vlog. And I think we can all agree that immediately resorting to assault is not the best way to handle a situation like that. Which is why it's good to see that the Ministry of Tourism, Industry and Commerce released a statement condemning the attack. It's clear that when we're confronted with issues like these, it becomes a discussion about Guyanese culture, caught between prejudices and stereotypes of the past and habits and practices of the present. And it might be time for us to accept that life in Georgetown is not as nice, pretty and perfect as we like to portray, even when the cameras aren't rolling. Regardless, as Guyana gets more popular, there will be many more solo travelers and vloggers looking to document their experiences while they travel through the country.
No one gives a crap.
Did he tell any lies? You can talk about his delivery, you can question his motives, you can even say that he's cherry picking, but you can't argue the reality. Ellis from the Skint Northerners, a British travel vlog channel on YouTube, just gave one of the most scathing and unfiltered reviews of Georgetown, Guyana. It was perhaps the most infamous lowlight in a week full of exposés about the sides of Guyana that tourists typically don't see and marketing understandably ignores. Clips from one of his videos have gone viral many times over. The reactions are pouring in, and it's safe to say that foreigners are shocked, many locals are embarrassed, and many Guyanese who migrated are clutching their pearls and acting brand new like they usually do. Many, like myself, are saying, "I told you so," because Ellis hasn't pointed out anything new. Many locals and top journalists like Gordon Mosley have pointed out these issues for years. But I guess it takes a foreigner to get a reaction. Ellis talked about too much for me to address in one video, so I'll focus on the biggest problem. Georgetown is a filthy, chaotic mess. Garbage everywhere, so much in disrepair or poorly maintained, no order on the roadways, and the poor attitudes of so many people are the flies on top of this great big cow pie. Those videos and the resulting discourse have showcased the results of when people don't care about their country and the leaders don't care about their people, to the extent that these negative attitudes and straight up squalor have become cultural. I must point out that most tour experiences in Guyana are carefully curated, as any country would do, which is why many influencers and tourists show the best or are only shown the best. But for Guyana, the image and reality are sometimes so starkly different that it's no surprise that two vloggers who take their own path stumble into the worst without even trying. Uncleanliness, nasty attitudes, poor public facilities, and a plethora of other problems. We know the issues. We live them every day. Many are desensitized, detached, or delusional. So my question to the Guyanese at the top and at the bottom is, what are we going to do about it?
All the waterways are like this. Just covered in plastic waste, sewage. Look down here. It's a proper mess. It's just laziness, isn't it? Pure laziness. No one really cares about where they're living. I've watched everyone throw all the...
Guyana, Vini. Come, we have to talk, okay? You know, in my country, we have a saying. Le ap rale plim sou poule, koden pari, right? Which means when they are plucking the feathers off the chicken, the turkey doesn't laugh. Right? Look at this. And I get it, right? Before I was woke, before I was involved in politics, I too would just laugh. You know, because it's funny. It's a nice little joke. It's a nice little harmless joke, or so you thought. Or so you thought. And in the event that you couldn't really comprehend the Haitian saying, let me give you another one, right? When two homes are located closely, you know, side by side along each other, and house A gets engulfed in flames, if house B does not take the necessary precautions to protect itself, to defend itself, it's only a matter of time before the flames reaches their front porch. In 2025, it was announced that Guyana is the only country in the world that can 100% feed itself. It does not rely on anybody else. It does not rely on the trade or the economy of anybody else. Only them. Not just that, Guyana has a lot of gold and oil. That makes you a target, Guyana. That makes you a target. You don't need them. You think that they like when places of color don't need them? Huh? When you accomplish some of the things that Guyana has accomplished, understand these Western powers are going to do everything in their power to destabilize your nation, because when you are destabilized, you need them. You need them. You see what's going on right now in the Caribbean. Piece by piece, they're coming after us. Piece by piece, they're coming after us. It started with Haiti. And I don't want to be like, you know what? But if the entire Caribbean ganged up on all of these Western powers when they first were attacking Haiti, they wouldn't have been able to gain the momentum to start coming after everybody. Puerto Rico, 127 years under US, right? Now Jamaica, they have their eyes set on Jamaica to making it what is it? An AI country, a super AI city in their country, right? to the point where environmental damages and destructions take place to help make sure that that plan is sought through, right? Yeah, DR, their president literally is selling them out. That's the only reason why the U.S. is not going in there to destabilize it further. Their government is already corrupt enough where they're giving everything to the Western powers. If DR gets a president that actually cares about DR, watch what happens. They've been buying pieces of DR, their beaches. They're coming back for the Caribbean because they realize they didn't take everything from us. Prepare yourselves.
I will be adding Guyana to my do not travel list for the foreseeable future. I'm sorry, I've seen what I needed to see, and I will not be planning any vacations there. So if you haven't seen it, there is a travel vlogger. His channel is called Jump Travel Documentary. He's a black man from France, and he went to Guyana and obviously was vlogging. And the way that he was treated was horrible. It was horrible, and it wasn't even like it was just one bad interaction. The people treated him so terribly. It was honestly pitiful. It like literally made you feel bad how badly they treated this man. And I just know that if he was a white tourist, he would not have got treated like that. He would have got catered to.
Black people shouldn't be traveling and spending their money anywhere that's going to treat them poorly. You can say whatever you want about how America is, but guess what? That's where we were born and this is where we live. I'm not going to pay to vacation and visit somewhere that's going to treat me like shit. That's why Italy is never going to see me. And now that I see what's happening in Guyana, that place wouldn't see me either. And y'all can talk about, oh, y'all, people in New York get slapped every day. It's not even about him being slapped. It's the fact that he was mistreated and harassed the entire time he was there. Before the slap happened and being denied services, why would you tell people, oh, you can't just write off a country? Well, maybe they should represent themselves differently if they don't want people to write them off. Anybody that says anything about they don't want to come to America because of how it is, I respect that.
That I'm late to the party with the French blogger that went to Guyana and got ill-treated. And a lot of people are calling this out for what it is. Racism. More importantly, internalized racism, right? Because this was a black man that got slapped in the face by another black man because he was upset that somebody was pushing a camera in his face. But as many of you pointed out, and rightly so, if this were a white man walking through the streets of Guyana, his skin color alone would have protected him from that kind of...
People from Trinidad and Guyana, you're not excluded from this smoke. You know damn well that the Trini Indians and the Guyanese Indians or coolies are racist or colorists. They always telling their daughter, oh, bring home an Indian boy, and be vexed if they ever bring home a black man or a man with more Afrocentric features. I have a good Trinidadian friend who always say, he's like a shade lighter than me. He will always say, I think, God, I'm not darker than any darker than how I am. Watch your mouth, boy. And I know it's not your fault. It's your parents' fault. And if that should come from slavery, but watch your mouth, boy. We love Trini. We love Guyana. But all of this dividing between black and Indian or native or aboriginal, how you say it, has got to stop. No one man or one woman is better than anybody just because of the color of their skin and how straight them hair is.
Well, that somebody white could have gotten assaulted? Sure, definitely. But is it likely? No. This black man had to consistently say throughout several of the videos that I saw that he was French in order to protect himself. He had to associate himself with a European country in order to maintain some sort of credibility as to why he would be blogging in the streets of Georgetown. Mind you, one creator rightly pointed out that the people of Guyana are not strangers to being filmed with all the CCTV and, you know, the 4,000 surveillance cameras that Jack Dio said they're going to install in the country. And this is the message that we're sending to tourists. We as a Guyanese people, we got to do better, man. No wonder the rest of the Caribbean ain't trying to claim us.
I want to talk about that tourist video with the guy that was shooting content in Guyana. Listen, that guy don't have 1 inch of blood for me, but let me tell you something. That video sent me crazy. Monkeys know we limb for jump on, you know. Because if that was critics or some minister person that videoing somebody or some other content creator somebody, they wouldn't do this thing like this. Or if it was a white man, he wouldn't do that. Why is he isn't he getting charged? Why is he in jail or something? What's going on with the system? How could you hit somebody like that and get off? That video sent me crazy when I see that video. Why is nobody doing anything about it? Why is the video circulating, going viral? You know, people is go to different countries doing vlogs, showcasing a lot of things, and nobody don't do them nothing. And here comes Guyana, Guyanese. Disrespectful people. You know, if that person had any inch of blood for me, let me tell you, I want to go through the hooks and the crooks to make sure you get charged or make sure you feel the penalty. Because that's disrespectful. You should not be walking around freely, hitting somebody in their face just like. He should be made an example. If the law doesn't take it, do nothing, somebody should make an example and let you feel it. I felt it for that man. That is so disrespectful. You slap somebody just like everybody's vlog. In this 21st century, everybody have their camera out vlogging, doing something. And you gonna just hit somebody. But Monkey, know what limb for jumping, because if it was critics was there, you would have never done that. You would have never done that.
Anna, it don't look good. A black man visit a country as a tourist and explore your country, and you target that man. You realize when the bombing happened in Guyana, you realize they use a whitey man, right? They use a man where on a would not target. You would not do the same thing where you do. If you was doing the same thing that you do to the black man, to that whitey person that put the bomb at the gas station and unalive an innocent girl, you will get justice already. But because you're profiling the wrong person, the person who have good intention, the person who recording, the person who least likely to be an agent, that are the person who you target, that are the person you choose to be racist to and all these things. You don't look good. You brand your country as a racist country in 2026. Then your country get branded as a racist country in 2026. And you don't even have white.
See, I've been waiting on this. What is my take on these two tourists and the way they were treated differently? The Ministry of Tourism highlighted the same thing which I thought. This has to do a lot with the judiciary. This has to do with a lot with the laws which are in Guyana to suppress the freedom of speech and the freedom of expression, because even the minister is saying that you have no right to video anyone's property or video anyone out in public. So Guyana should not be a tourist destination, because come on, understand this. If I go to America, I would like to take 2 pictures. I would like to video the community which I'm in. And it's very unethical that you will tell a vlogger that every single body who's going to come into contact or come into the area that he's videoing, he should get permission before. Because if you're videoing in a public space where people are walking up and down, you literally got to stop the video every 2 to 3 seconds to ask someone's permission to continue videoing. That won't make sense. So again, if they would like Guyana to be a tourist destination, these laws will need to be reviewed. So again, the Minister of Home Affairs and the Minister of Tourism will have to come to grips with what exactly they would like from Guyana. Because come on, you go to North Korea, you have to ask permission to film. But how much people trying to go to fucking North Korea, right? Every single country that is a tourist destination allows people to video unhindered. You go to America, you can video. You go to Jamaica, you can video. You go to Barbados, you can video. You go to Trinidad, you can video. How is Guyana going to be pushing the economy to become a tourism-based economy? And then on the same hand, we have laws which say you cannot do this and you cannot do that and you cannot do this and you cannot do that. People will not come and spend $2,000 to $3,000 US to take a vacation that they cannot take a picture, make a vlog about, and basically have memories, right? A lot of people, this is how they pay for the trip. I'm very sure that these two guys, that's how they make their money, by posting on their social media. So again, being a tourist destination goes above that. A lot of the popular people who do tourist destination make money from the content. So if you're going to have a lot of laws that bars this, they're not going to come to Guyana. And this is not the first people to say that Guyana has a very bad reputation when it comes to tourists, right? A lot of people don't post about it. There was this white guy, right? I follow him on YouTube. I watch all his content on YouTube. He said that Guyana is one of the hardest places for you to make content, right? And this is things that the Ministry of Tourism got to look into. Guyana get a bad review on many occasions from many tourists. Like if you watch a lot of these small YouTubers that visit Guyana, was this guy that was doing a series, right? Where he used to follow Cartel to like all of Cartel shows when Cartel first come out. And the guy said Guyana is one of the hardest destinations to film in. So like When you're getting all these negative reviews, you're not going to get the tourism that you would like to have, because trust me, nobody's coming to spend their money in a country which they cannot make a video or take a picture and post it on their social media and go viral. You're living in the age where everybody wants to be popular on social media, and the only way for them to do that is by making content and posting. And again, this is exposure for the country. So y'all need to figure out what y'all would like to have, because at the end of the day, if y'all have these laws in place, you always find citizens willing to attack tourists. And some people might not look like a tourist. It's easier. So that's the only reason why they might not attack this guy, because he looks like a tourist. This guy looks like a local. Same thing happened to Leon. And trust me, I've even seen this happen to a guy on Main Street where he was actually on a live and somebody approached him and attempted to take away the phone. So again, and the guy said the same thing. The guy said, I came here to see the lights and video and show my following. So, and yet still a local wanted to take away the man's phone. So, yeah, the judiciary got to get it right.
There are a lot of people that struggle to understand why Guyana is considered to be parts of the Caribbean, despite being geographically located within South America. Suriname and Belize are also examples of countries that are not located within the Caribbean. However, they are considered to all be parts of the Caribbean because of the shared cultural, linguistic, political, and historical ties between the three nations. It is similar to how Cuba is geographically located within the Caribbean, but it is considered to be parts of Latin America because of what? Shared political, historical, and linguistic ties between the nations. And what's funny is that the people that especially go out of their way to try to exclude Guyana from conversations surrounding the Caribbean themselves were not born in the Caribbean. These tend to be individuals like me who grew up in Canada, the US, or the UK that are like doing this gatekeeping, but it's like the people back home would call you a foreigner. So it's like, who are you to speak on who's part of the Caribbean and who isn't when you're born and growing foreign? The next time you are confused about geopolitical relations within the Caribbean, pick up a book.
You see why I keep saying that black people, right? Black people honor and prefer to bow down, to worship, to lick the foot of white folks, to idolize white folks more than their own fellow black people. And I'm happy that Caribbeans were not left out, because Caribbeans literally dragged this man out as well. You understand? Because look at the country that a lot of people are trying to just go visit so that they can literally be able to get something. Like, what is so special about this particular country, Guyana? I don't see anything special about that. But for the fact that this man literally needs to look out and pour spit in the face of this man, pushing him as if it was nobody, is a no-no for me. I understand the fact that sometimes the camera can make you feel uncomfortable, or you don't like it when people put cameras on your face, but there's a polite way you will say it. I can bet you with my full chest that if this camera was held by a white man and a white man decides to put the camera on their faces, they will literally not say anything. In fact, they will be laughing and cheering for the camera, looking as if they have never seen such kind of human being in their entire life. But because it is a black man, their racism acts decide to pull out. They decide to show that, yes, you are a black man and there is nothing we can do with you. Why can't you just politely tell him, I do not like you to film me? There are places I go to film because I have a lifestyle and a vlog channel where I see people literally said, I don't want to be filmed. And I just pull down my camera. There are places I go to and there is written boldly, do not bring your camera in here or do not film here, blah, blah, blah. And I respect that. I understand that. Once I get to such kind of places, I make sure I tune it down. So there are people as well that you just put camera to their faces and they are happy. What is that thing that is so big that you cannot support your fellow black brother, that you have to do this type of irritating and annoying stuff in his face? It is that bad. I will keep still saying it. Proximity to whiteness is actually not whiteness. And for the fact that you like to idolize, you like to make it look like you're worshiping these white folks, will not change it if they want to actually come back and deal with you. That is one thing you should literally know. And Africans, Caribbeans, immigrants especially, you need to learn to embrace black people more. You need to understand that what we have in common is 100% better than what the white folks and us have in common. So in as much as you people have tagged a lot of black Americans lazy, east, west, north, and south, and you're making it look like the black people can actually not contribute anything, as an immigrant, learn to respect. Because as it stands now, a lot of people are canceling Guyana, a lot of people are boycotting Guyana, a lot of people are saying they will literally not even travel there. I'm not even seeing myself traveling to that kind of place that can be highly racist to a black man. Anyways, you can also go online, go on TikTok and check out for a lot of videos that a lot of people have literally pulled out just for the sake of this Guyana. And now, let's keep our dollars to our pockets. Let's keep our money to our pockets. Countries that do not deserve us to spend our money, let's not spend. There are nice countries in Africa. You guys saw High Speed Show that came to display. There are nice countries in Africa that you can visit, that you can tour, that you can do your videos, that you can just do every single thing you needed to do as a black person. Stop going to those countries that, as always, people have always been crying about their highly racist profile, to spend your money. Your money is important. If you don't know what to do with it, instead of going to those countries, take it to orphanage, take it to any charity organization, and so on and so forth. Stop idolizing white folks, black people. Stop it. It's not making sense. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Credit belongs to the original creators of every single clips and stitches we have in our today's episode. If you haven't subscribed, what are you waiting for? Please do what? Subscribe, like this video, drop me your comments, and lastly, do not forget to share. I want to say a very big thank you to every single one of you liking my videos, dropping commentaries, sharing my videos, dropping super thanks, and also joining my membership. I do not take you guys for granted. You guys are absolutely the best. Disclaimers: this video is for educational purposes only, not to come here defame anyone or make anyone feel uncomfortable. Thank you so much for staying stick and hook with me to the end of this video. And yes, with that being said, with no further ado, I do like I always say in my videos, I'm going to be saying bye, and I'll see you guys in my next one. For now, bye guys. I love you guys. Mwah. Leave me your thoughts in the comment section. Okay.